On the night of December 13th, 1997, Bradley Horse, student of State University and the only Caucasian pledge class member of Sigma Epsilon Sigma Asian fraternity, was murdered in cold blood. Tuong Tuong, a recent immigrant of the highly underrepresented and understudied Nyuk people of Eastern Asia, somehow fell through the cracks of the system and found himself amongst this same brotherhood. Marginalized by his own pledge class, Tuong Tuong is now in jail for the murder of Bradley Horse. This murder was reportedly performed by penile bludgeoning.
Brad Horse was my pledge brother, and shit, he was like the coolest guy. He was always down with the Asians, even though he was like white, you know, and no one gave him shit for being Caucasian, because in a lot of ways he was more Asian than some of the Asian folks I know.
Like Bradley and me, like we grew up together, and it's like he's just like the coolest dude, you know what I'm saying? He like we live in a kind of nice suburban community, you know what I'm saying, up north, and like he's just the coolest, man, ever since we was kids and shit.
It's like, you know, them gay guys are always like, I think I'm I'm a woman in a man's body, right? There's some shit like I'm a woman in a man's body. I think Brad was like that. Brad was like, you know, he wasn't gay or anything, right? But he was like an Asian guy in a white guy's body. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, right?
This one time at this Korean restaurant, right? We were all in K-Town, and we're like, you know, wanted to grub on some Korean food, and like none of us spoke Korean, and so like Brad fucking hooked it up because he spoke Korean. He talked to the waitress fluent Korean, and he ordered for us.
He always had this thing. He always liked trying to be Asian, you know what I'm saying? It's like I never really understood that, you know, trying to be something that you're not, you know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of, it don't make sense to me, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But like, he was the coolest, man. And then we went to college together, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, it's like there
was this other time where we were at a Thai restaurant in LA or something, and like we didn't know how to speak Thai, but Brad came through. He spoke fluent Thai to the waiter and hooked us up. He even got us some extra dishes. And then there was this other time we were at this Indian restaurant.
It's like at first I was like, dudes ain't gonna accept a white boy, you know what I'm saying? But like they totally accepted him, you know what I'm saying? He was like the coolest, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? One thing about him, he even hooked it up with like a fine ass girl, and he got the digits to this girl named Elaine, and she was looking alright, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I met Brad at exchanges, and I thought it was kind of odd for him to be there because he was the only white guy in an Asian pledge class. But I don't know, when he started speaking fluent Cantonese, I was just like, oh my god, he's got to be Hapa. Automatically he just got so much cuter. It's just like, oh.
But the young love affair would be cut short, and on March 23rd, 1998, the state found Tuong Tuong guilty of murder. Who is this Tuong Tuong? A member of the highly underrepresented Nyuk community. We talked to Dr. Robert Sears, a pioneer in the academic assessment of Nyuk culture, to gain possible insight on these highly mysterious people.
As best as we can tell, this culture is located in eastern China. They are a highly nomadic people, primarily hunter-gatherers. There is very little transfer between their culture and the neighboring cultures around them, therefore making them very extremely sui generis. They are also remarkably different physically from the surrounding gene pools, and we were fortunate enough to find a whole series of Nyuk cave paintings. These paintings show them at work, at leisure. Most of these physical activities are achieved through, and this is the very unique part, achieved through a magnificent prehensile penile appendage. It is a possibility that the women may be possessive of these penile cudgels.
It was kind of, I think it was a big mistake letting him in the fraternity. I don't know how he got a bid, you know. I don't think we really wanted him in there. None of the guys really liked him that much. And I guess some of the actives were thinking like, oh, well, he's a good artist. okay, well, maybe we need someone to do the flyers.
Now that I'm like looking back on these things, and like there's like a lot of, you know, there's like dick imagery in here. You know, I mean, there's this guy holding, this guy's holding shit between his legs, and pretty soon it's like, like in the 8-ball shootout, the pool balls look like the guy's like, his nuts or something, right? And like, and like in one of there's like a naked guy in the background. I'm like, I don't know how I missed that shit, but it's like, it kind of makes sense now, I mean, considering, he killed Brad with his dick.
But I can't. Brad's no longer here, and Twog Twog killed Brad.